Jabari Smith hurt us yesterday. We had him over 7.5 rebounds to cash this 5-pick flex play on PrizePicks. He didn't get the job done. He ended up with 4. But regardless, a bunch of picks for you today to lock in on PrizePicks. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. And kind of, I don't say this to brag. I just kind of say it to really hammer home the point. On PrizePicks, right, here's my stats in 2022, 2023. This is the only thing you have to remember. This is the most important thing about PrizePicks. You have to be placing 5 flex or 6 flex if you want to be profitable long term. If you're not playing 5 or 6 pick flex, you don't stand a chance, right? And I've gone through this a bunch of times, but if you're hitting, let's say 56% of your picks, so you go to PrizePicks, right? The way this platform works is you just select overs and unders. If you're hitting your picks 56% of the time, which is pretty good, right? Hitting 56% of the time on overs and unders is pretty good. If you're placing 2-pick power plays, your ROI is negative 5.92%. Hitting 56% of your picks, right? And this spreadsheet will be in the description on YouTube. It's literally just math, breaking down PrizePicks payouts, right? Literally breaking down how these payouts work. So you can see PrizePicks, they won't vary your payout depending on if you select the over or the under. So just kind of reverse engineering their payouts. And again, you got to be going with 5 and 6 pick flexes. If you're hitting 56% in a 5 flex, your ROI is 11.9%. Negative 6% for 2-pick power plays, 11.9% for 5 flexes, right? So it's critical that you're placing 5 flexes on PrizePicks. So anyways, let's go back here. Let me move over here, and then let me just change that back to the initial number. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get into some of my picks. And I say this all the time, but there's 2 main ways to find value in sports betting markets, right? All these books, they set lines independently. They all have different odds from one another. So as a sharp bettor, you're kind of like a day trader. You're hunting through the market and looking for value, right? So sometimes what I do is, honestly, this play looks a little good. Kyle Anderson, this isn't a pick I took, but this would be an example of a pick you'd want to go with, or I'd recommend you take. You have Kyle Anderson. His line is 6 on PrizePicks, right? PrizePicks has his line at 6 assists. Underdog Fantasy, their direct competitor, is at 5.5. FanDuel's at 5.5. Pinnacle's at 5.5. All these other books are at 5.5, and it's not like they have a ton of juice in either direction. I mean, most books have the over 5.5 assists slightly favored around minus 130. But you can see PrizePicks is at 6, Underdog at 5.5. All sports books are at 5.5. PrizePicks is too high, right? They're too high relative to the rest of the market, so the value's on the under. So this is a place where we'd want to take the under 6 assists on PrizePicks, right? We'd want to take the under 6. So long story short, let me get into some of the picks I have, because that probably makes more sense. And the first play I have is Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. So here, it's not like PrizePicks has his line at, let's say, 24.5, and all the sports books are at 25.5. Rather, on PrizePicks, we know in a 5 or a 6 pick flex, we're getting minus 119 odds, which you can see right here. Don't do 2-pick power plays. You don't want to get minus 137 odds, right? So play this in a 5-pick power play or 5 flex or a 6 flex, and you're getting minus 119 odds. And what you're going to notice is all of these sports books, right? They all have the over for Brunson heavily favored, right? They all have the over heavily favored. And I've explained this before, but like if we go back to PrizePicks right here, right? PrizePicks won't vary your payouts depending on if you select overs or unders. So the price is always the same for the overs and the unders. But here you can see all sports books, right, are telling you, Brunson's over should be heavily favored around, minus 140 odds. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker out there, they have this at minus 157. Bet Online, another really sharp book, has this at minus 143. So you have all these data points, all these independent data points, all these books setting lines, taking bets, moving around odds due to supply and demand. They're all telling you, Brunson's line should be heavily favored around minus 140. We're getting minus 119 in a 5 flex. Seems pretty good, right? So this is the first play I went with. And then we can keep going. Keegan Murray under 5.5 rebounds, right? Then I also took Chris Letang over 2.5 shots on goal. So here you can see, let me actually switch over here very briefly. So you can see I ended up taking Letang over 2.5 shots on goal. Do I watch hockey? No. Why do I include hockey picks with basketball picks? Because I follow the value. If there's value in tennis, I'll bet on tennis. If there's value in the NBA, I'll bet on the NBA. right? If there's value, like here, you can see different sports books too, right? All sports books, they set lines, they set odds independently. So you can see here, it's like, okay, all these books have different prices, but the value is on PrizePicks. You want to be playing this on PrizePicks. Here for Embiid, you want to play this, on Caesars. Here, and, it kind of goes up in terms of profit margin, so the top plays are the best. So as Brunson plays a higher profit margin, and a lot of people are like, oh, this plays only a 1.7% ROI or 1.8%. How are you getting your 10% ROI as you can see on PrizePicks? And you have to remember 12% is we're placing mainly 5 flex plays. So if your average profit margin on each of your picks is 2% in a 5 flex, your profit margin will be roughly 10%. 2% per pick, 5 picks, 10% total would be your total profit margin, right? So anyways, let's go back here to PrizePicks. So you can see here, right, this market moves. This went from 0.28% profit margin to a lot higher, and then I bet it again. So then I included it again. So here you can see, okay, we have a 1.32% profit margin. All the books have the over heavily favored, so the profit margin got higher because sportsbooks moved odds more in favor of the over, right? So if we take a look here, it's like which book moved. Pinnacle was minus 143 here, so it looks like they didn't move. But BetOnline, you can see BetOnline had his over favored, so BetOnline's a pretty sharp sports book. But before they were at minus 139, right? Now the market ended up moving to minus 152. So this is a dynamic market, right? BetOnline probably took some wagers on the over, and we're like, dang, everyone's hitting the over. We should make, that's more favored. Bettors, an outsized demand is coming in on the over. So the over is more favored than we initially thought it was. So they juice the over more, now to minus 152. Same way a stock goes up and down, right? Supply and demand. Everyone's betting on the over, means the over is more likely to occur. Books juice lines more towards the over. We're still getting minus 119 odds on PrizePicks, clear value, right? We're getting 33 cents of improvement from BetOnline, and then from Pinnacle, another very sharp offshore sports book, we're getting 24 cents of improvement. Pretty good. So long story short, let's get into some of the slips I have. Why not? And let's go ahead, let's pull them up. Here's the first one. So I have Letang over 2.5 shots on goal. Ochi Agbaji under 15.5 points plus assists. Rozier under 6.5 assists. Randall under 13.5 rebounds plus assists. DeRozan over 4.5 assists. So again, a lot of people will be like, why did you like all these picks? Oh, did you see what this guy did last game? I don't care what he did last game. It's all priced into the market. You literally, I couldn't recognize this guy. Probably am not pronouncing his name right because it doesn't matter. It's all about the data. I have dozens of data points. There are literally dozens of sports books posting odds. These are just the ones in New York. So if you consider all sports books, there's dozens of books posting odds on Letang over 2.5 shots on goal. They're all doing it independently. They're all pricing his over around minus 140, and we're getting minus 119 in a 5 flex. Clear value, slam the over. So first slip, Letang over 2.5 shots on goal. Ochi Agbaji under 15.5 points plus assists. Rozier under 6.5 assists. Randall under 13.5 rebounds plus assists. DeRozan over 4.5 assists. So again, why did I take the points plus assists, for Agbaji and the rebounds plus assists for Randall? Because that's where the value was. I'm literally just following the value, the market, the data, because I like money, right? All of my PrizePicks slips are solely based on data. There's no gut. 99% of sports bettors trust their gut. That's why they lose money. Here's my second play. So you can pause it. I'll try to go through some of these quicker. Here's my second play. Here's my third play. And here's my third play that hasn't started. So 1, 2, 3. Anyways, hopefully it's a good day. Hopefully we get back to the winning column today. You can see a lot of ups and downs. Not every day is a winner. I don't claim it is. But got a lot of good picks out there. A lot of value in the market. Let's make some money, guys.